It's been a long journey. In just a few days, the Ark doors will open and Noah, his family, and the animals will be back on dry land. But the animals have become a bit restless and are out of their cages. Camels, giraffes, monkeys, kangaroos, and more are wandering through the corridors of the Ark. As Noah, it's your job to regain order and get the animals to sleep until you leave the Ark. Your only tool to accomplish this is the food you brought aboard the Ark. And if you are wondering what this is, it's Super Noah's Ark 3D, or Super 3D Noah's Ark, or Super Ark 3D Noah's, or Noah's Ark 3D Super, or something. This is from Wisdom Tree, released in 1994. Wisdom Tree, known for their Christian-based games on many home systems. This one is Wolfenstein 3D. They licensed the code. This is not an official Nintendo product, and to bypass the copy protection, the original cartridge only works if a different legitimate game is plugged into it. So it kind of works like a Game Genie. You plug this in, you have to plug another game in to bypass the product copy protection. So again, this is something that has always just struck me. Just so bizarre, right? From a company like Wisdom Tree, who does, as we've mentioned, Christian-themed video games. They don't play by the rules. Like Nintendo says, no, you can't do that. No, you don't do. And they say, well, screw you. We're going to do what we want, and we'll find a way to break whatever you're using just so we can do what we want to do. That's a really, really bizarre thing. Here's a game all built on the story of Noah, who he and his family had to, go and rescue, save, whatever, all the animals, because everybody else was being so bad and crummy that God's like, hey, you know what? We're just going to drown everybody. It's going to be great. Go build a boat. Don't be bad, Noah. You weren't bad, except for that really terrible Russell Crowe movie. So you didn't do bad things, so you get to not drown. And many, many years from now, someone will make a video game based on your exploits that will use underhanded methods. See what I'm saying? Originally for DOS, it was ported over to the Super Nintendo, Windows, Mac OS X, Linux. I think there was also a Genesis version called Mega Noah's Ark. I don't know. Basically, it's the Wolfenstein game with different graphics. It's a non-violent. Instead of killing Nazis, we are drugging goats to render them unconscious. See, because that's legit. The animals behave differently. Goats, the most common, will kick you. Other animals such as sheep, ostriches, antelope, and oxen will shoot spittle. Goats are unable to open doors, though, which other animals can do. Weird that the one animal in the game that doesn't have a ranged attack can't figure out doors. The gameplay is aimed at younger children, which is horrible because this game's kind of hard. Secret level shortcuts, we come across larger, more powerful slingshots and flings coconuts and watermelons at larger boss-like animals such as Ernie the elephant and Carl the camel. Those great biblical names, Carl and Ernie. Shooting coconuts at goats. That's a thing in the Bible. The game would eventually become Super Noah's Ark 3D. It was licensed based on the movie Hellraiser, a movie that Wisdom Tree founder Dan Lawton was a great fan of. Wisdom Tree acquired the game rights to Hellraiser for $50,000 along with the license for Wolfenstein 3D, believing that the fast, violent action would be a good match for the mood of the film. Development began on the NES, with Wisdom Tree intending to ship the game on a special cartridge that came equipped with a coprocessor that could increase the system's RAM processing speed several times over. Eventually, the Hellraiser game was abandoned due to several issues. The hardware on the NES was found unsuitable because of its low color palette, and the addition of the coprocessor would have made the cartridge far too expensive for consumers. Like, someone should have told them that. By the time the first prototype had been finished, Doom was already done, so developing for the NES was considered a lost cause. In addition, the management at Wisdom Tree decided that, maybe developing and publishing a horror-themed game would clash with their religious, family-friendly images. With these factors in mind, Wisdom Tree decided to let their Hellraiser license expire, transferring development to the Super Nintendo, redesigning it with a Christian theme, coming up with a game about Noah's Ark. The game was not officially sanctioned by Nintendo, and Wisdom Tree devised a pass-through system to bypass the copy protection, where the player had to insert an official game into the cartridge slot on top of the cartridge. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, does not clash at all with their Christian theme and religious family-friendly image. The game uses the engine for the Super NES version of Wolfenstein. According to rumors, id Software, angered with Nintendo's censorship, gave Wisdom Tree a deal on the license as a type of revenge for the company to make an unofficial clone to mock them. There is no evidence that censorship played a role in licensing the technology to Wisdom Tree. However, the game, believe it or not, was not a commercial success and is considered a clone of Wolfenstein. It was most commonly sold in Christian bookstores. But there was a re-release in January 2014, re-release for the Super Nintendo, initially available only by private email orders, but later through Pico Interactive's website. It was updated for the 20th anniversary edition, because why? And released on itch.io for Windows, Mac OS X, and Linux. Modern PC re-releases are based on the EC Wolf game engine, a derivative of Wolf 3D and Z-Doom. And on June 2015, this version was digitally released on Steam. Wow. In October 2015, a community reconstructed source code became available on Bitbucket. No reception data other than nobody bought it because it's dumb.